Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Bwaaa, a King of the Hill rewatch podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, we are full speed ahead, Season 2.
Yep.
Season 2, Episode 2, King of the Hill, Texas City Twister.
Texas City Twister. Yeah, this is one of my favorite episodes, too.
It is a good episode.
I love extreme weather, so extreme weather episodes of TV shows.
We get a lot of that here,
where
we're located.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, last night we got,
we got some weather.
pretty rough stuff.
Yeah, it was good. Good bit of rain and wind.
A lot of rain, a lot of wind.
A lot of wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, driving around this morning, I noticed a lot of falling tree branches and stuff. No trees, but a lot of tree branches.
I always know if there has been significant wind because we have two chairs in our backyard that blow over every single time.
Yeah.
If those chairs are blown over,
It's
and
a windy
God
day.
forbid they're blown into the yard, then we got real issues.
Yeah. One of the things that I saw this morning that's blew my mind was when the interstate is backed up, you see those jackasses that always just, I'm not going to wait for the exit. I'm just going to take, just go off into the grass and get off the highway.
Yeah.
Well, I always tell myself when I pass by them, I can't wait for the day that I see one of these jackasses stuck in the mud. And sure enough, on my way up to the studio today, there was a guy. He had tried to get off the highway, huge mud puddle from all the rain we got, and his truck was almost like end over end.
Wow. I was, one time I was on a back road and this guy in a big jacked up truck, which we have a lot of around here, was trying to pass me, right up on my butt, the whole thing. It's pouring rain, been pouring rain for a couple of days, right? And the ditches or the culverts on either side of the road are just full of water. And so this guy, he decides he's going to pass me on the shoulder. He speeds up real quick, and then he gets off into the grass, and he's looking at me like, I got you, or whatever. He hits a low spot, and I am not kidding you, Rusty, when I say that the dude went down into the water, came back up Dukes of Hazzard style, caught air, and then hit the ground, and I just kept on going. It was one of the greatest things I've ever been involved with.
Yeah, you get
that
what you
and the
deserve.
birth of my children.
Okay, that's good. I was supposed to say, I hope that was in there somewhere.
Yeah, well, they're a close second. All right, so again, Texas City Twister, Season 2, Episode 2. We start in the Hill House, and Hank has his glasses off. We get to see how blurry things are in the world for Hank without his glasses. Yep. He believes that he sees Peggy greeting her with the normal morning, hun, and he gets back morning Uncle Hank from Luanne.
Luanne, yeah.
And then my favorite part is he says, I called you hun, and I'm naked.
Yeah, he's
got a T-shirt and
T-shirt
robe and the whole
robe
thing.
And shorts.
So
undershorts.
they kind of go back and forth. She apologizes, and he goes. He gets very upset because she's touching his undergarments.
Oh yeah,
which
really
are
really upset.
Part of the laundry.
And then
they just came out of the dryer.
Just came out of the dryer, hot and fresh.
We know that.
Yeah,
we know. That is. I am always looking to cool down, right? Except for the stuff that comes out of the dryer. There's something weird about those clothes when they come out of the dryer.
Oh, yeah, it feels great. Because, well, especially if you use the little softener sheets.
Oh, yeah.
And if you use softener in the washer.
It
like
smells
everything is
good.
Just,
it feels crisp.
And then it's just nice and soft, and
Nice,
especially
yep,
a hoodie.
yep.
My favorite thing is a hoodie or a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie combination in the middle of winter, fresh out the dryer.
Well, he starts griping about how his drawers are spinning around with her unmentionables. I love the fact that he calls them drawers.
Yeah, well, I like the part where he notices, or Luanne tells him, well,
Yeah.
no, some of them are mine.
Right.
And she's sitting there. He has her underwear in his hand.
Peggy finally comes into the kitchen, and he's like, will you look at what your niece has done? And she's just like, scandalous.
Scandalous.
She didn't care.
Now she says, where's my coffee?
Then in comes Bobby, and he is very excited about this hot laundry. Literally, he has a T-shirt and I guess nothing else on.
Yeah, nothing else
Because
on,
he grabs a pair of his tidy whities out of the hot laundry and puts them on right there, then
Yep.
takes his shirt off and throws it back into the pile.
in true fashion.
And Hank is like, it's 6 a.m. and that boy already
Yeah,
ain't right.
6 a.m. and already the boy ain't right. Yeah.
So then we get our credits. No bell, no yell.
No bell, no yell.
But we get our regular credits. Next thing we see is we've got a guy coming unsolicited to Hank's door knocking, and we know how much Hank likes that. He gets Hank to come to the door. He asks if Luanne Platter is living there, and Hank's like, well, he's already suspicious. You know, who wants to know?
Yeah. He's
kind of
already
thing.
suspicious for sure on this.
Yeah. The guy explains himself to be from Shiny Pines Trailer Park. For some reason, I always want to call it Shady Pines.
Shady Pines.
But it's Shiny Pines.
Shiny Pines Trailer Park.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and well, he thinks the guy's screwing with him too. Not only does he not like people just randomly knocking on his door,
Yes.
like nobody likes a solicitor. And so
I like solicitors.
you do?
I do.
I don't.
My wife hates this, but I will invite them in and talk to them for an hour. And it's because I want to hear their pitch. I want to know what they're selling. And then I ask them about them, like their backstory.
Yeah.
There is, and I'm probably one of the only people in America like this, but I love a good Jehovah's Witness. If they can come to my door and tell me the story, I am all in. Let's listen
he
to
might be the only one.
Let's listen to the Light Tower or the Light Watch or whatever the hell the thing's called, Watchtower.
The Watchtower.
Let's listen to your story about how it's heaven on earth and all the people are going in a spaceship and the whole thing. I want to hear about it all.
Yeah, my mom remembers. She used to tell me about when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
And she was upper middle class England. And the Mormon boys used to ride by and
Mormon
knock on the
boys.
doors. And she says, she was about the same age as they were. And
Yeah.
she says they were always well dressed and really
Sure.
polite and
White
handsome
shirt,
young men.
black tie.
Yeah,
Yep.
she said so. She always, didn't mind speaking with them.
I always thought they were that way too. And then in my 20s, I had a little studio apartment. And when I say studio, it was literally 2 rooms, just a little tiny apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And right across from me, 2 Mormon boys moved in. And they asked to borrow my hibachi one time. They used my hibachi and gave it back to me with chunks of fish stuck on it. So it has tainted my view of the Mormon church ever since.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just the fish.
Yeah, it was the chunks of fish
It was the
left on
chunks
my
of
hibachi. So he is looking for Luanne because he's saying that Luanne owes 6 months back rent, which I want you to understand, this never gets mentioned again.
Never gets
That
mentioned
she
again.
owes money anywhere
She owes money.
or
Well,
anything.
I think this is the last not mention of the trailer, but this might be the one and only time I think you see
Yes.
the trailer park in the
Yes.
trailer. Maybe, I don't know.
They talked about it before,
Yeah.
but I don't think we've ever actually
Seen it or
seen the
been there.
trailer. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've certainly not seen the inside and the aftermath.
Which that comes.
Right. So Hank argues with him a bit. You got it wrong. She doesn't have a trailer. That's why she lives here.
Don't play mind checkers with me, man.
Mind checkers.
Mind checkers, yeah.
Yeah. And the guy's like, we're both reasonable people here. And Hank's like, you said it, friend.
Yeah,
and they're
you
both
said it.
grabbing for something. Hank is grabbing for a 9-iron.
Yeah.
And the other guy has like a pointer thing in
Well,
his
that's
hand.
the thing with Hank is the episode about anger management and stuff like that, how
Yeah.
they have the whole spiel about he's angry and things
Yeah.
like that. Well, I always thought that he really did need it. Everybody's like, well, I just don't like idiots. I was like, no, dude, you grabbed a 9-iron
That's
when a
right.
guy was coming to your front door
That's exactly
just to
right.
talk to you about money your niece owes. Like, he was just so quick to have that in his hand. It just tripped me out.
Yeah, he was quick to pick that up. And there's
Yeah,
a
he was.
reason those are right beside the door.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's kind of funny that you never see Hank with like you would think that him being a red-blooded American from Texas that he would have like a gun by the front door, but instead it's just the old,
well, it's
Paul's
his willy bag.
Yeah, it's his willy bag.
It's his willy bag. So they start kind of going back and forth. We're both reasonable people here. They're grabbing for their things. And he tells him how it can't be right because Luanne used to live in a trailer, but then her parents fought, and that's why she lives with them now instead of living in the trailer. So there we go. So that's why they're living. Sorry, we had a little ruckus out in the control room. But her parents fought. The trailer tipped over. They both went to jail or whatever happened with them. Her mama went to jail. I know that. And then that's why she's living with the Hills.
Yep.
And the guy's like, well,
the cops hauled it off. Yeah, that's what she was told. Yeah.
Yes. And Hank's like, the guy says, man, if you're calling me a liar, you better have something stronger than an umbrella.
Yeah.
Hank's like,
nine
iron. The guy's like, well,
y'all
have a nice day.
Yeah, you better be
done.
holding something stronger than an umbrella.
And then we see Peggy and Luanne coming back to the house, and Peggy is in the middle of one of her stories. She's talking about how she was asked to be a substitute for a German class, but she said 9. She thought that meant yes. So she really missed out on a big opportunity there.
Yeah.
And then they open the door, and Hank's just waiting. He's waiting there with the newspaper, and he's like, Luanne, why are you living here? And Luanne has to answer him with the fact that she has nowhere else to go. He informs her that the guy came from Shiny Pines Trailer Park and said that she's got a trailer there. And here's everything you need to know about Luanne. No, I don't. It tipped over. He's like, but it's still there. No, it tipped over. He's like, well, let me try to explain. I got a beer can. I tipped it over. Now, is it still there? I can't live in a beer can, Uncle Hank.
I can live in a trailer.
Live in a trailer,
but I don't have a trailer because it's tipped over.
Because it tipped over. That's everything you need to know about Luanne right there.
Everything, absolutely every single thing.
The trailer does not exist anymore because it tipped over.
Tipped over.
So Peggy is telling Hank about how it can't be livable. It's full of broken dishes, broken dreams.
We'll clean it.
Says we'll clean it. Peggy, what they had a sponge that cleaned up broken dreams.
Woolworths would still be in business.
That's right.
That dates the show.
Well, yeah. I mean, Woolworths probably, 60s?
Yeah.
Went out of business?
Well, when
60s,
I think
70s?
30 years ago, businesses that went out of business are Kmart.
Yeah. Woolworths was a long time ago. We have a Woolworths building downtown here, but it's been converted into other stuff. But it still says, I believe it still says Woolworths out in the tile in front of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know there's some. I know there's a spot randomly in downtown that just has. It was Cox's. That's what it was. They had that little spot. Yeah.
Cox's mud. It was Cox's. For those of you who don't live in our backyard, was basically like a clothing store, high-end clothing store.
Oh, high-end clothing store.
Yeah, it was a
I
little
didn't even
high-end.
know what it was.
Yeah. Well, it was there, and then it was over on Valley Mills, where the Ocean Buffet is now.
Oh yeah,
that was Cox's.
Well, that was the first shopping center. It was like the first mall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
In '53. Well, after the tornado.
They did that. Full of facts,
tornado
folks.
Again. Yeah. Tornadoes
full
again.
Of facts. So now we see the guys outside. They're like, "Hey, Hank, what you gonna winch?" Because Hank is under his truck, setting up a winch on his truck. He said, "I'm gonna winch Luanne's daddy's trailer. I'm gonna untip it and set it right." Because in Hank's mind, that's all you got to do. You set
untip
that trailer,
and it's resets. Everything's reset.
That's it. Yeah. She can go. They can have a happy family.
Well, she knows how to eat.
Do on her own.
Eat her feelings.
Yes.
At this point, he's already taught her that.
Absolutely.
Just gulp it on down.
So Bill Dale Boomhauer, Bill says, "You know how the Egyptians untipped the pyramids, don't you? With a winch, a cinder block, and 50,000
Hebrew slaves." Yeah, he's crazy.
Well, and the other thing is, you can just see Hank's face during this thing. He's just like, ugh. He doesn't want to hear another one of these stories. He's ready to go untip a thing. Yeah, Bill informs him that he could get him a tank from the Army base.
Which is crazy, the amount of stuff that he can do, or just he's an Army barber.
He says, that it's nothing better for pushing except for maybe a bulldozer, and they lock those up.
Yeah,
so they don't lock up the tanks, but they lock up the bulldozers. Yeah. So he tells him, "No, I got a truck and a winch. You want to keep talking, or you want to go tip a trailer?" And of course, the boys are all in. I mean, they get to tip a trailer over with a winch.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, I mean,
That's all you need.
the only tipping I've ever heard of was cow tipping.
Well, that's true. Cow tipping.
I've never
Cow
heard of
tipping,
trailer
folks. Don't
tipping.
do it.
Usually around here, if a trailer tips, you might as well go ahead.
Yeah, man. Come on. Those things are made out of cardboard.
Yeah, hang it up.
Misery. Dale shouts out to Nancy, I'm going to help Hank with
winch a trailer.
winch a trailer. I'll see you at dinner. Nancy responds with, I'm sorry, Shug. I got to anchor the eyewitness weather tonight. There's high winds blowing, maybe a tornado. This could be the disaster I've been waiting for. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, and then he goes, what about my supper? This said, I left a carton of cigarettes on the table.
He's like, I think I'll keep her.
I think I'll keep her.
Yeah. Then we see them all driving to the trailer park, and Hank is informing these fellas that trailer parks are some of your biggest consumers of propane, right behind school buses and crematoriums.
Crematorium.
The way he says it, it's not crematorium. He says crematorium. Yeah. Bill is just enthralled with all the pretty trailers. They're also shiny. And then Boomhauer sets into a little bit of a thing here, and I don't really understand what happened to him other than he kind of comes to his senses while he's talking.
Yeah, that's a dang old good old deal. $100 a month to get them hookups, get them old dang tube top jiggling around everywhere.
And then he says,
but dang old trash.
nothing but dang old trash. Yeah. So
that might be what he likes.
well, and then they all get out. He's telling Boomhauer to crank up the winch. Boomhauer is now in the truck. He is going to drive the truck, and the other three boys are going to watch the thing tip over. And he keeps going and keeps going, and he actually runs the truck back up onto the trailer, which is the first mistake. Then they have to set up a ramp, run the truck back down the trailer, and then they finally get the momentum they need. The trailer tips back over, but Boomhauer doesn't stop and runs into another trailer and tips it over.
Yeah, tips that over.
Yeah. So it's a whole series of events. Then we go back to the Hill House, and Peggy and Luanne are watching Jeopardy. Luanne is asking, do you think Alex Trebek is sexy, Aunt Peggy?
Yeah. Do you think Alex Trebek is sexy?
She just immediately, get out of my mind.
Yeah, get out of my mind.
So here comes a proud Hank. He's, hey there, Luanne, Peg leg. I just love when he calls her Peg.
Yeah, I do too.
That's fantastic.
He comes in all swaggered out after accomplishing the goal of the day.
Yes, and
he thinks he's about to get his den back again.
Oh yeah. Peggy's like, "What have you been doing all day?" He said, "This and that." He says to Luanne, "Here's a thought. Wouldn't you like to have your own room?"
Sure, I would. I'd also like a date with Alex Trebek, but I don't see what good it'd do since I don't even have my own room.
I love how that's a 1-to-1 for her.
Yeah.
You know, if she had her own room, she might be able to get with Alex Trebek. So Hank informs him that he has now untipped the trailer, that he took care of it. She can move in tomorrow. I can't imagine what the inside of a tipped over trailer that's been sitting there for, I'm guessing, the better part of a year looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if there was any food in the fridge, if there was anything going on, we know there's a fork that people stabbed somebody with.
Yeah, there's a fork with dried blood all over it somewhere.
There's all kinds of stuff in there, but he's like, yeah, you can move in tomorrow.
Yeah, he doesn't even think about it. He just
bad.
wants her out. And I don't understand because it's like waves with him, I guess. Like he'll want her out one minute and the next minute he's...
Yeah, well, it was the den first or the spare bedroom or whatever.
And then it was the... I guess that's the same episode, I think. When the boyfriend broke up and they ate ice cream and all that. Yeah, that's the same episode.
Yeah, they're eating cookie dough. Sister?
Yeah, sister.
So Luanne is extremely upset. Why are you doing this to me? He's like, you're welcome. You know, because he thinks he's done a great thing here. He's setting her out, you know, and Peggy kind of blows up at him. Hank Hill, how could you? You're practically pushing her out the door. Hank tells her that sometimes, you know, you got to stop vomiting in the baby bird's mouth.
And kick her out of the nest.
Kick him out of the nest.
And then this is hilarious right here when she says, that's a very clever analogy, but you know, from our own sidewalk, we're constantly raking up those little dried up dead birds.
Dried up baby birds. That's rough. She just tells him all about how Luanne's not right, or she's not right. She's not ready to get out. She goes to Luanne, calls her Pumpkin, which is a big thing around here. A lot of people get called Pumpkin. And Luanne sets in to tell her about how she is sorry that she lost it, but she just can't go back to that trailer. Well, not that she can't. She says she never thought she'd have to because she's got such bad memories there. And Peggy's just assuring her that, she doesn't have to go until she's ready.
Yeah.
Luanne said...
This part's funny.
Did you know I'm the first one in my family to go to beauty college?
No, I didn't know that. And she goes, well, I'm not stopping there. I've got dreams, Aunt Peg. I want to do hair and makeup for TV. I know I'd be good. I could be the first one to hide those bags under Michael Douglas's eyes.
Michael Douglas's eyes.
Those are big old dreams.
I'm shooting for a star, she says. And you know what? I'll be okay at Shiny Pines because you can see the same stars at that trailer that you can see right here.
She looks up at the sun and then he goes, well, at night.
At night, that's right. So next thing we know, Peggy has helped Luanne pack all up. She's okie dokie, you all packed up now. I guess you better start your goodbyes. We want to get on the road before that Dr. Demento starts stinking up the airwaves. Do you know Dr. Demento?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay. So Dr. Demento used to come, it was a syndicated radio show. I think it started... I want to say Detroit. Maybe somebody will correct us, but I want to say it's in the Detroit, Michigan area. He would play funky songs and then lots of sound effects. So he was basically like a morning DJ, but for weird songs.
Yeah.
So a lot of like Tiptoe Through the Tulips and stuff like that. He is credited as being the inspiration for Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dr. Demento was a syndicated radio show that was on a long time ago. So there's your history lesson for today, guys. Luanne starts saying her goodbyes. She starts with Lady Bird, and Lady Bird has one look on her face all the time. I've never seen Lady Bird look a different way.
Yeah,
now,
never.
I've seen her bark, but I've never seen her look a different way, right? She's a sad, bloodhound-looking dog. And so she tells her to smile, and she goes, come on, show me that smile.
Yeah.
Face does not change. She goes, oh, good girl, there you go. So Bobby is saying his goodbye to Luanne. He wants her to know that he did not read her diary, even though she secretly suspected it back June 18th, 1995, which is very specific.
That is very, very specific.
Luanne says, I'm sorry, I was wrong to doubt you. And then she tells Hank, goodbye. You've been just like a father to me. And Hank tries real hard to get some emotion out, but
and then he gives her the card.
It.
Yeah, hold on to that. It'll get you 10% discount on all your propane needs.
Yeah, just gives her his business card, which is pretty
lucky
rough.
Me. She
yeah.
did a real high pitch. Lucky me.
Yeah, she's starting to cry. She just wants she needs a dad so bad. She needs somebody in her life to set her on the right road. And so Peggy is going to go and drive her. She tells Luanne to go on out to the car, and then she lays into Hank again, and Hank's like, what, that card is just like cash.
Yeah, the car is just... Did you even notice Luanne was crying when she left here, Peggy said?
He's like, when is she not crying? She cries at funerals. She cries at weddings. There's no rhyme or
reason to it. He goes, I spent 6 hours tipping up her trailer yesterday. My back hurts. You don't see me crying. And then she goes, well, no, I don't, but I wish I did.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
She and Peggy doesn't do this a lot, but she's
good at it, though, when she does it.
Every once in a while, guilt him into the fact that he is not showing emotion, and he needs to, especially with family. She's big on the whole family.
She's
thing.
Company, and I don't understand why he calls her company. It'd be like if my niece was I've got a niece, and if she was at my house, I couldn't just imagine telling my niece, "Well, you're just company.
You're just company.
Yeah,
you're not
just
family.
company. You're not family." That's crazy.
So they get into a little bit of an argument. She accuses Hank of not showing emotions. He says, I got plenty of emotions. I was afraid she wasn't going to hug me, or I was afraid she was going to hug me.
Yeah.
I was worried that she wouldn't leave, and I was happy when it was over. So that's his big emotions. And then Peggy calls him a blockhead because he never shows any emotion.
Now that's hitting below the belt.
That's right. And then she just says, I wonder what the hell is wrong with you sometimes. And then Hank says the words that are going to come back to haunt him. He says, really? Well, speaking of hell, I wasn't so in control of my emotions. I might be inclined to say that's a sort of place you should maybe consider making a visit towards.
Yeah.
He loses some steam there at the end.
He almost told her, he realized that he he was fucking up kind of big in a way.
Yeah, and then he has to tell Bobby because she leaves in a huff with Luanne. He has to tell Bobby, "I'm sorry you had to hear that. It's not the way you're supposed to speak to your wife." And Bobby just looks at him and goes, "I can't hear the TV."
Well, that's the thing is you think that kids aren't paying attention, but he quickly shows. Well, after he goes, "I can't hear the TV." Then on the TV, he goes, "The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for the Tri-County area. This is not a test." Channel 84 doesn't play those kind of games.
Yeah.
And then
They don't play those kind of games.
Yeah, they don't. And then residents should be on the lookout for a tornado, especially if you live in a trailer park, because we all know, Jim, trailer parks can be hell in a tornado. And then Bobby, you think he didn't pay attention to anything that his dad had said to his mom, but he goes, "Isn't that funny, Dad? Because you sort of told Mom to go to hell, right?" Then they say on TV that a twister is a trailer park is hell. That's funny.
And that's where Mom's going.
Yeah, that's where she's going.
Yeah.
No reason to panic, though.
Yeah. Hank tells him there's no reason to panic. Me telling your mother to go to hell will not be the last words we have as far as our exchanges. We'll just have to drive to the trailer park and pick up Peggy and Luanne and return. And so they're going to go do that. He does have one important question to ask Bobby, because if they get in the middle of a tornado, he wants to know if he knows how to restart a man's heart with a down power line.
Which I don't know. There's really no wrong way to do it.
Yeah, because Bobby just goes, no. Well, there's no real wrong way to do it. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, and we will finish up with this episode now that we got a twister and everybody driving hell-bent towards it. We'll be right back. Hey, we want to talk about one of our great advertisers. That is Sundays for Dogs. Your dog, I know I have dogs, your dog deserves tasty, healthy, real food, not kibble. Sundays is real food for dogs, formulated by a vet with only the highest quality fresh meat, veggies, fruit, and superfoods. Then, Rusty, they air dry it to perfection. It's made in the USA at a USDA human food facility.
Well, Mike,
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't want to feed my dog anything that I wouldn't eat myself. So
Sure.
The great thing about Sundays for Dogs is it's fresh dog food that's shelf stable and affordable, and it's 40% less expensive than leading fresh brands.
Yeah, because some of that stuff is really
Some
expensive.
of it's really expensive,
Yeah.
especially fresh food. But
Sure.
it tastes like a treat, but it actually is a complete and balanced meal for your dogs, and it's perfect for dogs who are picky eaters.
I have one of those. I have a dog who is a picky eater. That little shit smells everything before he eats it, and sometimes he just turns away.
Well, also the good thing about this is that you could customize your food for your dog's size, breed, and activity levels, and that's good for me because I have an older dog who is less mobile and less active. So
Yeah, you do.
they cater the diet to her 17-year-old.
I've never seen your dog move.
No, she doesn't move much at this point, but she is now more active with this. She has more excitement about eating.
Yeah.
Her stool is better. She's got better energy, improved weight, and her
stool is
coat is
better.
way softer. Yeah, the doctor was concerned about her stool. Her vet was, because she wasn't getting the right diet that she needed. So we tried Sundays for Dogs, and Sundays for Dogs has just been great for her.
So it starts at like less than $2 a day, right?
Absolutely, less than $2 a day. But the great thing about it all is that it's made right here in the USA at a USDA human food facility.
Brought to you by Human Food Facilities. All right, so you can go to sundaysfordogs.com and take a quick quiz to find the right plan for your dog. And the best part about all of this, if you have suffered through us talking about Sundays for Dogs, you can go to sundaysfordogs.com, enter the code KOTH, that's King of the Hill, KOTH, and you get 35% off your first order. That is 35% off with the code KOTH, sundaysfordogs.com.
Womentanye.
Woof. Hey, Rusty, do tornadoes like in this episode or severe weather, do they make you sweat?
Yeah, I mean, they could be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. You know, your cleanliness, and I'm assuming we're referring to sweat here, is a reflection of you, especially below the belt. You know, I have had a beard for a long time, but I never thought about taking care of my little danglers with the same time and effort that I do my face. Rusty, would you say that you are a clean person or a dirty person?
Well, before ballsy, Mike, you know, it was somewhere in between.
Sure.
In Texas, the weather's hot and the humidity's high, so there's just some things you can't control, and ball sweat is one of them that you can't control.
Absolutely.
And through all the years and all the products that you're exposed to, I noticed that men never really had anything to keep themselves clean. You know, as far as like intimate products, women have tons of them, whereas men are told to just use bar soap. Well, this takes us out of the realm of bar soap to wash your balls with, Mike. And if you want to get your willy bag clean, they've got great stuff. They've got ball wash, nuts, butt, and body wash with activated charcoal.
Oh, and you know what? I tried that stuff the other day, or I haven't really smeared it on me yet, but it's black because of the activated charcoal.
Oh, the activated charcoal.
Scared me a little bit when it first came out.
Ooh.
They have that. They have the Ball Guard liquid powder, which reduces sweat, irritation, and odor. It's just like a little cream that you put on there, but then it dries dry, like almost like a talcum powder type.
Oh wow, okay.
Stuff. Then they have the Sack spray. This is to neutralize odor, so I'm assuming you spray that right on the little danglers there.
Yeah, I imagine it's just like spray deodorant.
Sure,
it's a deodorizer to neutralize.
It's got that new ball smell. Yeah. And then
you know what's really great about all this stuff, though, Mike, is that it's made only from the good stuff. It's made of essential oils and plant extracts, so there's no harsh chemicals.
So nothing's going to sting, is what you're telling me.
There's no sulfates, parabens, synthetic dyes, and the only animal it's been tested on is me.
And they have something called Ball Balm.
Yeah, Ball Balm.
This is soothing cream, and I'm assuming you use this after you shave. So the good folks at Ballsy sent us some products here. We have the Ballsy B2 trimmer. It balls and body grooming.
Yeah, I haven't tried this one yet. I've tried everything else, but I haven't tried the trimmer yet.
Comes with 2 heads. One is for your body and one is for your balls. I believe the one we have on there is for your balls. Why don't you go ahead and try that out, Rusty? Well,
we've got time here in the studio. Let me go ahead and just shave my willy bag here really quick. And oh yeah, that's it glides right across it just like a hockey puck on ice.
Yeah, look at that. It's just falling off in clumps. The groin area. It's no secret that balls are prone to odor, sweat, and irritation, so upgrade your balls game with Ballsy. They make quality, long-lasting products formulated to keep you fresh, comfortable, and confident. Don't think for one second that Ballsy is just trimmers. Like we said, they've got all of these products. They've got your sack covered with ball wash, sack spray, and more. Whether you are a guy who loves lawn work and drinking a cold one in your man cave, or you're interested in self-care but don't want to smell like cupcakes or flower arrangements, I personally like smelling like cupcakes, but that's okay. Ballsy is for all guys who want to get a great product to solve your ball needs. You know, Rusty, I don't think I even knew I had ball needs until Ballsy told me. And now I can't do anything but focus on my ball needs. The Ballsy products have no bullshit ingredients. Ballsy is made from only the good stuff like essential oils and plant extracts, like you said. No sulfates, parabens, synthetic dyes, and of course no testing on animals except for you. They sell a sack pack, which it's the ultimate trifecta of products, specialized formula to take care of your most prized possessions, I'm assuming balls. And if you don't know where to start, you can go to ballsy.com and you can take a quiz. You can take a quick customized system tailored to your personal sackuation. Now, I want it to be understood. I did not come up with that word. The good folks at Ballsy did. Sackuation. How's it going over there, by the way?
Oh, it's starting to feel smoother than fresh poured concrete.
Ah, very nice, very nice. Do you put your fingerprints in it just like you would concrete?
No, actually, no, I don't.
Okay, that's good. Again, this stuff is made in the USA. All Ballsy personal care products are proudly produced in the USA, and they say they always will be. That's a big deal.
That is huge.
This is a perfect gift. All of their items are perfect gifts for any time of the year, or even just a gift for yourself. Sometimes you got to give yourself a little ball gift. Ballsy's ball-focused hygiene practices will improve your daily comfort, skin health, and keep you smelling incredible. Again, asterisk there. I did not come up with Incredible. The good folks at Ballsy did. And they have a guarantee with over 200,000 satisfied customers and a 30-day money-back guarantee. You've got to give Ballsy a try. Hey, could you do me a favor? Just sweep up some of that. It's kind of getting on the paper here.
Oh, the janitor will get that later.
Okay. Janitor has talked to me about that. He doesn't like picking up the pubic hair. You have tried all their products, and what do you say about them?
Well, after trying the trimmer, I have to say there's never been a smoother trim without an actual blade as far as like a safety razor.
Yeah, it's crazy,
So
right?
it's way better than even a safety razor. And I mean, it is just there was no skin clipping. I'm obviously not screaming through the mic. There's no blood anywhere. So
Very little.
So it keeps the war zone down there less of a war zone and more of a oasis.
A DMZ.
A DMZ. It's like an oasis now. It's smooth.
Sure.
It's smooth. It's fresh.
My ball area is like an oasis.
And there's no stank coming off the nuts anymore.
No stank on your crank. And by the way, asterisk, they did not write that, I did. So keep the funk off your junk right now. If you go to Ballwash, that's BALLWASH.com, and put in promo code KOTH, as in King of the Hill, KOTH, you'll receive 20% off your order of $50 or more. That's 20% off when you go to Ballwash.com and put in promo code KOTH.
Bwaaa trucks fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas.
Hey folks, welcome back. We are now at a time when this episode is going to come to a crescendo. Hank and Bobby are headed towards Shiny Pines to get Luanne and Peggy out of that place because they know the twister is a coming. So we're outside, and Hank and Bobby have reached Shiny Pines. And
hold on.
Yeah,
we haven't reached Shiny Pines just yet. We're standing outside waiting. He just asked him if he knew how to start a man's heart,
right.
And then now we're outside. So
now we're outside
you got
with
Bill.
the boys.
The boys are outside. You got Bill standing there in his uniform, being the Army barber, and he goes, "Well, I wish I could hang around with you ordinary citizen types, but my county needs me."
My county.
Yeah, I take on certain powers when I put on this uniform, not unlike your Marvel superheroes, Stretch Armstrong, Spider-Man, whatnot. And then his fly's open this whole time, and Hank looks down and says, "Your bat cave's open there." And kill me.
Bill gets a little sensitive, though, about that.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
does.
I don't mind you guys making fun of me on a daily basis, but when I have this uniform on, I appreciate a little respect.
Set your moose on stun.
Hank tells him, of all the armor Barbies, all of the Army barbers I know, you are the bravest. So Boomhauer is standing there. He's got a big old camcorder,
Huge
like one of the big ones,
one
right?
of the big ones,
big old
one of the
VHS.
original ones,
Yep.
yeah.
And Dale tells him you better hang on to it because he's driving right up next to that twister. But that hard copy is paying $500 for flying cow videos. And Boomhauer says to that,
"Oh, boom, man, cow flying all over the place. This no time for jokes."
yeah. So the tornado, as Dale is telling us, the tornado is already classified at level 2 on the Fujisaki scale.
The Fujisaki scale. That's what I was looking at.
I'm
I
assuming
got
is a
ahead of
real
myself.
thing, right? A Fujisaki scale?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. He informs everybody that a storm this strong could send an egg through a barn door, 2 barn doors if one of them's open.
It's the Fujita scale.
Fujita.
And it's not necessary. They say wind speed and all that factors, but really how they base it on is how much damage is left.
Right.
Yeah.
Bobby is very intrigued by this. He wants to know what a level 3 would do, Mr. Gribble. And Dale tells him that a level 3 will send an egg through a brick wall.
Tornado chasers call it Humpty's Revenge. Tornado time is like the end of days.
The soft shall be blasted through the hard. Chaos will descend upon the well-organized. And the strongest of men will become like a woman of average strength. So Hank puts an end to all that. That's enough. Let's go. Bobby says, just a minute, Dad. He forgot something inside. He runs inside and grabs an egg and puts it in his pocket just in case.
Yeah, puts it in his front pocket, too, of his shirt.
Just in case it needs to go through anything. Now, we get another shot of Nancy Hicks Gribble over at the TV station. She is still doing the weather. During times like this, the weatherman's all you see on local TV.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
They turn off everything else, and it's just weather.
I can't remember our weather's guy. I don't remember the guy's name. I don't remember what channel it's on, but He's got the really snazzy cowboy boots.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you don't
that,
often see the weatherman's cowboy boots.
No, you don't. I noticed that the
Is it
other
Rusty
day.
Garrett?
No, not Rusty Garrett. He's since retired, so he's not on TV anymore. But it's another country guy. He's real country. He's kind of heavier set.
Channel
I can't
6?
think of his name. I don't know what channel.
I think it's Channel
on.
6. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I really like his weather reporting.
Yeah, he's got a very country
and
lilt
he's got some
to his
good
voice.
boots, though. I mean,
That's what matters.
I mean, it tells a lot about a man.
They're
in
weather
the boots
boots
that he's wearing.
Yeah,
weather
they're
boots.
weather boots.
All weather boots.
So we get Nancy Hicks Gribble on TV. She is there for Tornado Watch 97. So this dates it right there.
Yep.
This is brought to you by Megalomart, and this is my absolute favorite quote in this entire show.
Yeah, this is good.
She says, "Mention that your home was destroyed and get a free 5-pound bag of onions."
There you go. If you're not already crying enough.
I put freaking exclamation marks around that and everything because I love that so much.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
She said that a series of tornadoes have touched down in Arlen County. As of this time, we have no reports of injuries or injury footage. But if you know someone has been injured or is likely to be injured, please call the station.
It's called the state. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So they make it to Peggy and Luanne are now at the trailer. They go inside, and Luann's like, so many bad memories. There's the fork that Mama stabbed Daddy with.
The empty bottles, the mango-colored palazzo pants.
Mango-colored palazzo pants that made my butt look big. And Peggy's like, oh, this is going to be harder than I thought. Yeah. She said there was a lot of fight going on. I guess I just have that effect on people. She's thinking that she caused the fight between Peggy and Hank also.
Yeah, at this point. And then
Peggy,
she goes, it's not anything to do with you, it's him. And she said, I'm mad at him because of all his precious self-control.
And then she tells us the marriage proposal that Hank gave her.
I'm surely am not unfond of you, Peggy. I tell you what. What kind of marriage proposal is that? And it's funny that she says, what kind of marriage proposal is that, but still married the old guy anyway.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, she's got a little bit of that in her, too. Now we see Bobby and Hank. They're in the truck, and they're headed towards...
less of it. Remember, she did
Pines.
have sex with somebody other than her husband.
Oh, that's true. That's right. And we're hearing an announcement over the radio that they've got on. They're saying that Wheezy's nightclub was in the path of gale force winds. It leveled the club, but the strippers are fine. Now, one customer did have his lap broken by one of the dancers.
damn lap broken.
His lap broken, yeah.
Imagine breaking your lap though. That's your. Just imagine your bones.
I don't even know how much of your legs that is, but it's your lap. Hank is reassuring Bobby that they don't have anything to worry about. The trailer park is at least 3 strip clubs away from Wheezy's.
Yeah, the amount of strip clubs in Arlen County.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a fiasco.
That and one Whataburger.
One Whataburger. Yeah, that's a travesty in itself. There,
that's true. That's
you need
true.
like 8 of them.
You need to have 1 per strip club. That is Texas law.
There you go.
The truck starts acting up, and Hank knows exactly what it is. It's that dang old fuel filter again. There is no gas station for miles. Bobby says, hey, let's go to the Megalomart. They've got everything and a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So you know that's their phrase, right?
So just maybe they'll have fruit pies.
And he just gets so giddy when he talks about fruit pies.
Yeah, he loves fruit pies.
Maybe they'll have fruit pie. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I love fruit pies too, though.
They run in the fake fruit?
Well, I mean, real fruit pies, but the Miss Barrett's, like the ones with the frosting and all that, those are really good. Warmed up, put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and put some fresh cream on it.
I've been watching these videos on YouTube at night to go to sleep, and some of them are about, like, I can't remember the people who make them. It's always the same lady's voice. But they talk about, like, top 10 things that IHOP doesn't want you to know, or top or bottom 10 fast food restaurants in the U.S. or whatever, and then they start naming them off.
Yeah.
Right? One of them they talked about was, and I don't remember what the premise was because they all blur together, but they were talking about the McDonald's fruit pies. And when I was a kid, the damn fruit pies from McDonald's, the apple pie, was a friggin' delicacy. Now, at some point, they changed it to a baked fruit pie rather than a fried fruit pie, and that thing is inedible at this point. I do not like it. I do not like it one bit.
Yeah, most things that are like that at McDonald's are inedible.
It used to be deep fried.
Probably better ingredients.
And it had those those pockets that form on the outside of the dough and then they pop.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
You know what my comfort show has been lately?
What's that?
Julia Childs.
Really?
Well, they have on Pluto.
Yeah.
They have the Julia Childs channel where it's just Julia Childs 24/7.
Did
so
you
I just watch it.
know that Magnolia just bought all the old Julia Childs shows?
No, I didn't know that.
They're going to be streaming those on their network.
Oh, wow.
We are in the city where Magnolia and Fixer Upper and Chip and Joe are, and I found that out the other day.
Shout out to Chip and Joe.
Yeah, that's actually a really good move. I can see. I mean, I would sit there and watch them. I love to watch Julia Child spread a turkey.
Like I said, it's on the Pluto TV. I watch hours of it.
So they are going into the Megalomart. Now we get Dale driving towards the Twister. And we just see him in the truck. We don't know exactly what's going on, but we know he's driving towards the storm. And he's talking to the Twister. He says, just you and me now. 10 years ago, you took my shed. Did you think I'd forget that? Come on, bring it on. And then one friggin' drop of rain hits the truck.
Don't take me, and he lets go. And then it cutscenes.
Then you see the top.
And then you see Boomhauer hanging on for dear life like he's at a bar on a bucking bull.
He's hanging on to that damn bug on
the
top.
big old bug,
That's
big
right.
queen ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just like going off through a cornfield.
Barely making it.
So Bobby and Hank are in the Megalomart, and they're looking for the fuel filter. And the only way that Megalomart sells them is 12 fuel filters for 60 bucks.
But I only need one.
So he just takes one out, takes it up to the cash register. The lady at the cash register is like, I'm sorry, hon, these have to be purchased in packets of 12. He goes, all right, 12 fuel filters. She says, sorry, sweetheart, I can't sell you a package that opened. I opened it.
I'm the one
who opened it. It reminds me of the line from like Breaking Bad. I'm the one who knocks.
I'm the one who knocks.
Yeah, I'm the one who opened it.
And well, then she goes for insurance reasons. And I'm thinking, what insurance reasons myself? And then he goes, well, what could possibly happen with an open package of fuel filters? Fuel filters.
And then the other people in
people in the store
Megalomart
notice
who are looting all of the toilet paper and all the candles and everything.
And this kind of was funny to me too, is that at the Megalomart, the tornado is on the ground already at this point. And usually when you're in Texas, this happens seasonally, and they even have like tax-free weekend. They have a tax-free weekend for disaster month, but. That blew my mind how everybody was ransacking the place post tornado, like the tornado, like
during the tornado,
during and post tornado, instead of like.
I guess
it's usually the shells get cleared out like the day before.
Maybe they're protected by all those strip clubs. You know, maybe that's it. Maybe there's a glut of strip clubs around them.
Everybody had to leave the strip clubs to go to Megalomart to fight for fuel filters.
Yeah. So they're all coming after Hank now because they call him a jackass. And
the jackass is buying all the fuel filters. Leave some for us, jackass.
One lady's like, I need a fuel filter. What are they for?
I don't know, but that man's buying them by the dozen. Somebody stop him.
So they barely make it out of Megalomart with their life.
He just grabs one and throws out
one and goes,
a random bill on the deal and leaves.
Yeah, here's a 20. Hey, by the way, I lost a $20 bill yesterday, and I've never been so pissed in my life. I went through the drive-through at a local grocery store to pick up my prescription, right? One of my 500 things that I take a day.
I once randomly gave it wasn't randomly. I once gave a random guy $20 to get me weed in the projects one time when I was in high school, and I lost that $20 bill. And learned a lesson at the same time.
Yesterday, it was a little windy around here, and so I put a $20 bill and my driver's license in the little bank teller thing that they have at the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Lady would not close the damn drawer. And so my bill gets whipped up and blown out.
Did they reimburse you?
And so here I am in line, right? And she looks at me and goes, did you get it? Well, no, lady, I didn't get it. I can't get out, number one, because I'm in this narrow-ass line trying to get my damn prescription so I can keep living. And then she's like, well, maybe you should pull up some. Well, no shit, lady. Yeah, maybe I should pull.
That's funny.
I got out. I walked around. I tried to find it. Anyway, somebody made $20 yesterday, and it wasn't me.
Oh.
So they are back in the truck, and they have stopped at a checkpoint that obviously the National Guard or somebody has set up, the Army, I guess, because Bill's involved.
Well, we got the hazmat team out there.
Yep, that's
poking
true.
the thing that fell out of Dale's deal when he was hauling ass, his ant poison.
Oh, that's right. He did.
Yeah,
have
and
a,
and they just poke it with a stick. It's like a 55-gallon drum of poison, and he's like poking it with a stick. There's no spill. It didn't even spill out or nothing. They should have picked it up, put it in the back of the truck, and drove off.
He's just poking at it.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hey, come on, move that truck. My wife is stuck at Shiny Pines." And one of the Army guys responds to him and says, "He's not authorized to drive the truck, sir. I'm not authorized to drive the truck." He says, "My wife is in danger, damn it. Now make something happen." Then this guy calls for security, and here comes Bill.
Yeah.
Hank is like, "Thank God, make this idiot let me pass." And now Bill gets a little bit of revenge here.
Yeah, he goes, "Well, just how would I do that? With my blow dryer or my scissor comb?" And then Hank starts pleading his case. "Come on now." He said, "I'm sorry." He goes, "I must have a bad case of barber's ear. I can't hear a word you say until you address me as Sergeant Dotrieve." And then he pleads at him again.
Yeah,
Bill pleads. Yeah. And then he goes, "Well, I can't hear you." "All right, Sergeant Dotrieve. Well, I don't know if I like your tone."
Well, that's the
Private.
thing. He keeps going after that. He's like, "I don't know if I like your tone or not."
And then he starts to melt to Hank. This is where Hank is now reaching the meltdown phase. "What did I do to deserve this? I didn't mean to curse my wife to hell." And then,
I like how he's taking this to heart.
Yeah, he is taking it to heart, which is good. It shows the emotional side of Hank. I guess this is, you don't get a lot of emotion out of him, but we got a lot of range of emotion in this whole. You got anger, you got the regret, you got sadness, you got you got mean. He has a whole different array in this episode, and it's funny that this episode has such a wide array of emotions. It's a really good story and everything too. It was nominated for the 1998 Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program.
Really?
For this episode.
Oh, wow. That's excellent. So we go back to Nancy Gribble, who is looking a little rough at this point. She's back on TV.
Real rough.
And they have now changed it from Stormwatch to Death Watch 97.
Death Watch 97.
She says a level 5 tornado is headed right for Shiny Pines Trailer Park. Shiny Pines residents, we urge you to remain calm. If there are any personal issues that you've been wanting to resolve, or if you've never experienced the miracle of lovemaking, now might be the time.
Yeah.
The miracle of lovemaking. All right, so Hank and Bobby get there, and Hank is calling out for Peggy and Luanne, wanting to know where they are. Bobby, of course, loves to see the flamingos fly through the air.
Well, not only that, this is where he tries to do the egg. So he pulls the egg out of his pocket and he throws it into the wind, and it just comes right back and smacks him in the face.
So here comes an old lady running out of the trailer park. She says the Twister's coming. Run for the freighty hole.
Run for the freighty hole.
I have never. Again, one of our sponsors is Ballsy. Make sure you keep your freighty hole clean.
Yeah, make sure you keep your there you go. That's a good one, your freighty hole.
So he finally finds them, and they are getting into a storm shelter. Hank is not so lucky. The old lady takes Bobby with her, so they all go underground. Hank is caught outside, and the Twister is bearing down on him now.
Bearing down.
Yep. So Hank grabs on to a telephone pole, and he starts telling Peggy how sorry he is. He doesn't know if he can hold on, so he better say this now. He feels terrible about what he said.
Well, he calls it. Well, some of the things that he says kind of make me laugh too. So, like you said, he he kind of begs and pleads with her. "I don't want you to go to hell. I'm not good at this kind of thing.
I don't want you to go to hell."
And then she goes, "You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Don't edit yourself. Just whatever comes, let it come." And then he goes, "You're my best girl.
You're my best girl."
They killed me because that's something you'd say to your fucking dog. And he said they're telling his wife, "You're my best
You're my
girl."
best girl.
Well, who's your worst girl, Hank?
Right.
Yeah, I mean all that would do is start an argument in reality.
He said,
"Well, you're my best girl, hun." Imagine telling that to your wife. "You're my best girl." Well, who are the other girls?
I'm not saying
yeah,
that.
it'd be a waterfall.
He tells her how much she means to him, and that when they were apart today, that was the real hell. He couldn't wake up in the morning without her beautiful face. He loves her, loves Bobby, but to a lesser extent.
Yeah, I love you and Bobby and Luanne to a lesser extent.
Yeah, and Peggy's real concerned. She's like, hang on, it's the eye of the storm. Come on, hurry.
But this is funny because there is no eye of a storm in a tornado. So if
Really?
yeah, there isn't.
Oh, I
There is
didn't know
no
that.
not like it's not like a hurricane because tornadoes are.
Oh, you spoiled
Tornadoes
me.
like a finger, where a hurricane is like big, like a big hug.
It's a hug
type
from
thing.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
Sure, Mother Nature's hug.
Destructive hug.
So Hank hangs on to that telephone pole for all of dear life.
And this is reminiscent of the Twister when they're underneath the bridge hanging on for dear life as the F5 comes off over the top of them, which would be on point for the time frame that this show came out because Twister came out in 1996, I believe. So it's around the Twister movie era because there was another movie. It was a straight-to-TV one with, some of the guys from
It's called
Dawson's
Twisty,
Creek.
brought to you by Wonder Bread.
Brought to you by Wonder Bread.
So Hank is hanging on to that telephone pole, and the wind is just a blowing and a blowing.
Rips
blows
his clothes off,
all of his clothes off, including his drawers.
Yep, even his drawers.
Finally, the eye comes, which doesn't exist, and Peggy comes out and says, "Hey, it's out of the storm. Hurry, come on to the shelter." And the only thing that Hank is worried about is Luanne's still alive. If she is, tell her to cover her eyes because he's got no clothes on.
Just run, you jackass.
So Hank picks up a cactus that has fallen next to him and covers up his genitals with it.
Yeah, but before he does
what
that,
a great episode for Ballsy to be our sponsor.
Oh, it
huh?
is. It's a great episode.
Yeah.
And my favorite quote from this one is when the old lady, he goes, "Don't tell me that old lady's in there too." She goes, "Don't mind me. I've seen a barrel of pickles in my day."
So
keep your pickle clean. Use Ballsy.
That's right. That's right. So he tells Luanne how she doesn't have a trailer anymore. It's tipped over again because this whole place is just ruined. I mean, there's stuff everywhere.
Oh,
right?
everywhere.
They look around. There's just stuff everywhere. He says, looks like you'll be staying with us from now on. And she's so thankful. Thank you, Uncle Hank. You know what I'll never forget? When Uncle Hank was naked. And this is the end of it. She's telling him how she won't ever forget that. And Peggy's like, that never happened. And then the wind blew all his clothes off. And
not my underwear.
Hank's, not my underwear. She goes, yes, it did. And then he said, not my underwear.
Not his underwear.
Peggy's like, not his underwear. What a great way to go out. Not his underwear.
So
it's a great episode.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite episodes, and I guess that it's obviously a good episode. That's why they were nominated for an Emmy. They might have not won it. I wonder who won that. Let's look real fast. Let's see. 1998 Emmy.
So the next episode we're going to be covering is season 2, episode 3. We were supposed to cover that today. I just never had time to get around to it, so we're going to cover that tomorrow.
They got beat by the Simpsons.
Oh,
that
makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you guys hang tight, and we will be back with season 2, episode 3 next time. This has been a blast. You can check us out at roguemedianetwork.com or anywhere you get your podcasts. Rusty?
Yeah, you could get us on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter at BWA, also Facebook, sorry, at BWAAAKOTH. Also, July 2nd, we're throwing a cosplay event hosted by Giovanni the King and Rogue Media.
He was a guest here.
Yeah, he was. He was a guest on episode 10, I believe, of season 1.
Yeah.
And we're doing a cosplay event. There'll be a $100 prize for the best cosplay.
That's cool.
And I'm one of the judges, so I will be biased towards all King of the Hill costumes. It's a cosplay event for any cosplay, so you can dress up as whoever you want. But my judgment will be biased towards those that are King of the Hill related.
I don't know that you're supposed to come out and say that.
I'm letting anybody know that
all right.
I'm leaning towards if the top 3 and one of them's King of the Hill, the King of the Hill one's gonna get my vote.
Fantastic. So. Yeah, that'll be a good time. We're gonna have a good time. And last but not least, just remember to support all our sponsors and mention that your home was destroyed and get a free 5-pound bag of onions.
Was that the
that
stinger?
Was it.
Yeah.
All right, Wimatanya.
Wimatanya.
See you.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.